Greetings. Normally I'd begin the video with a time talking a little bit about centering prayer and what the fruits of centering prayer are, how to really move your heart and mind and soul into it, and how to get the most out of it. But today I'm just having a rough day myself. I'm feeling very worked up. There's just this swirling energy of different things going on in my own life, and so I'm really coming to centering prayer out of a place of need right now. And so rather than share on the front end some thoughts and advice or inspiration theory, whatever it is that I typically do, I thought I would maybe do some reflection on the tail end, to kind of process and describe the experience coming from this heightened state of agitation right now to whatever awaits me on the other end. And maybe that'll be more of the same, and I'll just have a 20 minutes, 20 minutes of peace, or maybe something will shift, or I'll recognize and see something differently. But bottom line, we're just going to jump into it today. So, the first reading comes from Thomas Keating's Open Mind, Open Heart, and it's Guidelines for a Christian Life, Excerpt 2. And he says, our basic core of goodness. Sorry, before I jump into that, real quick, 4 R's. Can you name them? React to no thought, resist no thought, retain no thought, and return gently to your sacred word. These guidelines of centering prayer are what help, ground it in both the contemplative tradition of faith, that this is not a abstract or meaningless, just secular form of mindfulness meditation, though it is a form of mindfulness meditation. It is guided by that core intent of having and maintaining a sacred word, which is not a mantra that gets repeated with a breath. A sacred word is simply a word that embodies your intent to move into the deepest part of your own heart and soul, and to move into that space where the lines of you and the divine of God really start to blur a little, and we move into a kind of deeper, some call it non-dual state of consciousness, where it's just awareness of yourself and awareness of God in you. And so react to no thought, resist no thought, retain no thought, and return gently to your sacred word. Our basic core of goodness is our true self. Its center of gravity is God. The acceptance of our basic goodness is a quantum leap in the spiritual journey. I'll read it one more time. Our basic core of goodness is our true self. Its center of gravity is God. The acceptance of our basic goodness is a quantum leap in the spiritual journey. Get comfortable. Take a deep breath. Here I am, Lord. From Psalm 106, Non Merrill's book, Psalms for Praying. May we become bearers of joy, we who are invited to share in the cosmic dance. May we walk in faith all the days of our life, confident in your divine presence. Even in times of trouble and with assurance for what is and all that is to be, may we have faith in the unfolding of our lives and radical trust in the universe. Amen. Now that seems a very appropriate prayer for how I'm feeling at this moment. That unfolding nature of our lives, of the universe. During prayer, the physiological sensations I was having around the frustration and stress were really kind of centered in kind of my upper diaphragm area and then my heart. Like I could feel my heart with every beat, and there's just this kind of weight or stiffness. And slowly that just kind of released and eased and dissolved itself. I can't remember if there were any specific thoughts that I let go of that coincided with those sensations shifting. But overall, there was a lot of peace felt during the time of centering prayer. It was very much necessary to just keep trying to release those things, to not get stuck in any one line of thought, even a few that felt really nice, but to just keep trying to let it go and come back to myself, come back to that core, come back to that presence of God in me, beyond all the stressors and frustrations and thoughts and unknowns. When I was in that heightened state too, I remember the last thing I wanted to do was to sit still. It just felt like the most counterproductive, unhelpful thing I could do. But the reality is that for much of the stuff that was really weighing me down and stressing me at that time, much of that I couldn't have done anything about anyways. So maybe the best thing I could do was just release it. Glad I could share a little experientially. But may you have a blessed day. I hope to see you again.